What's up, y'all? It's Cortez Mac here, and you just enjoyed episode dose of the On the Way Up Atlanta Season 2 reunion. And tonight, I am joined by Phil. Fan favorite Phil joins me tonight to talk about all the events of the episode that y'all just watched, along with the season that we just finished. So how you feeling tonight?
I feel great.
You feel great?
I feel wonderful.
In terms of watching this reunion back, how do you feel about the events that transpired? Overall
as a whole, with the reunion, I think that I came and basically did what I said I was going to do. I owned up to what I said I was going to own up to.
Okay.
Some people may have not liked it, or they may have not wanted to hear it, or they think that it wasn't an own up, but it was an own up.
So tonight we saw, some accountability, we saw some conflict, and we saw some clashes. So I want to ask you, looking back at tonight's episode, individually with the people that you had issues with, who do you feel like you really sought to come to the reunion to resolve things with?
To be honest with you, let me be clear, okay? And let me be clear. Let me be clear has been probably one of my favorite slogans of this whole season.
Come on,
but let me clear it up. If anybody I owe an apology to, or anybody I really owe anything to, it would really be Trey. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, and the only reason why I say that is because, regardless of what happened between other cast members or what we went through with, what I went through with other cast members, Trey was the main one that it looked like. Of course, everybody thinks that I have some type of infatuation with. So I want to clear that up, that if anybody is owed an apology, it would be Trey, because maybe some of the things that I said may be misconceived in the wrong way.
So what would that apology sound like? If Trey was watching right now, if he is watching this right now, what would you say to him directly?
I mean, an apology is an apology. So, I would tell Trey, I really apologize sincerely for, maybe it could have maybe personally hurt his feelings. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It could have maybe made him upset in some type of way, which I understand, because when you look at the clips, most of the clips, but at the same time, I'm going to make the apology. I'm not going to say at the same time. I'm just going to make the apology and say I apologize to Trey. Okay. And I say that wholeheartedly because me and Trey had chemistry before the show, mm-hmm. which everybody found out and knew about.
Can we talk about that a little bit? We kind of gloss over it at the reunion in a way. But for those watching that, saw that, what is the relationship that you and Trey had prior to filming?
The prior relationship that me and Trey had was basically, I wouldn't say it was like a reach out friendship. Like, I'm calling him up and he's calling me up. We did have each other's number. We would text, we would go to the same place, he did karaoke on certain nights, and I was there, and we would meet up and, we would have a good time whenever we would see each other. Okay. We did every now and then text each other and, kiki a little bit. But it was never a best friendship or mm-hmm. something where I could call him if I got a flat tire. It's not like we had that type of friendship. So I'm going to say on the level of, because I don't want to use friendship loosely, mm-hmm. because that's used loosely, I'm going to say an acquaintance. Okay. That was closer as maybe a friend.
Did you feel excited joining the cast knowing him already?
I didn't join the cast for Trey.
Okay.
I didn't join the cast because I knew who Trey was. Mm-hmm. And I didn't join the cast because I watched season 1 and said, oh, Trey's on there. Mm-hmm. And let me jump on there because Trey's on there.
So just a coincidence.
It was just a coincidence that Trey just so happened to be on there. I didn't even know Trey was even doing a show. That's how much we talk.
Oh, wow.
We don't even talk like that. I found out from I actually came across the show and found out that Trey was on the show. Did I think I was going to come on season 2 and have so much to say about what Trey was doing? No, but sometimes people take things in a different way. I'm a blunt person, so me being blunt may just ruffle some feathers. And it ruffled feathers.
You ruffled plenty feathers. You ruffled the whole, all of them, right?
I think I plucked them instead of ruffled them.
You plucked them, ruffled them, put them on a dress, all of that. Wore the dress, sold the dress, all of that. Tell me about what you said before in terms of wanting to come to, and y'all heard him say it. He said he came to season 2 to shake stuff up. Why was that your goal?
Did I say that?
You said you did what you came to do, which was shake things up.
No. Let me break it down to everybody who doesn't know Phil the Prince.
Let's do it.
I think that's where everybody's going wrong at. I never needed a show to present Phil the Prince. Okay. This show was just a elevation to my brand. However, Phil the Prince was Phil the Prince before Phil the Prince even came to season 2 of On the Way Up Atlanta. I've been on 2 radio stations here in Atlanta. Okay, and this is before Trey was even on the first episode or the first season of On the Way Up Atlanta. So I was already in the entertainment industry. So it's not like I just jumped on this show and said, oh, I'm Phil the Prince. Hey, everybody, I came here to shake everything up. I've always been that same person on the radio too. If you go back and listen to my radio interviews, I'm very blunt. I say what I value as my opinion. People may not like it, and that's just how it is. Maybe I brought a little bit of my radio opinion and values to the show, and it was a little bit more boastful than people might take it. But I'm gonna be me at the end of the day, and people didn't like what I said on the radio a lot sometimes. So maybe they just didn't like how I presented it on the show either. But I stuck to who I was and stayed true to myself the entire season.
Yeah.
So it's not like Phil the Prince just popped out somewhere and I just made a name for myself and here I am. I've been in the entertainment industry for a while. And Trey has even reached out to me from season 1. When season 1 came out for On the Way Up Atlanta, I was actually doing the Saturday morning brunch crew. On WTT Radio, which is one of the radio stations he actually interviewed at. And he actually was on his live one day, and he was talking to one of the cast members, and he said, Phil's on my live. Phil, you should invite me onto your show for the radio. So he knew I was on the radio. So this is nothing new. This is nothing new. Phil the Prince has been around for a long time. It's just in between coming into season 2, I was trying to figure out what my next platform would be for me to brand myself and put my brand out there of what I do. Because radio's not the only thing I do. I do have several different things that I do. Fashion styling, I'm into fashion. I've done fashion styling. And I have been put down on the show for that. I've never talked about anybody's craft on this show.
People questioning what it is you do.
They question it because they think that because you've seen one scene, that's he only had one scene, so obviously he's not doing anything. Even in one scene, whatever I did. So obviously I'm still doing it. So I don't appreciate that my craft was tore down, but I don't think I've ever talked about anybody else's craft to tear it down.
Okay.
You know, to discredit anybody's craft on this show, because I feel like it's called On the Way Up Atlanta, not Already Made It Atlanta. So when you say stuff like that to me, maybe I did ruffle your feathers enough for you to have to come at me
and respond in
a way where you're tearing me down, because check my bank account again.
Okay, check your bank account. Don't check me. I love it. That's what the shirt says, y'all, in case you were wondering.
Check your bank account. Don't check me, baby.
Let me ask you this, though. Did any of those attacks or those responses to you ruffling feathers or being authentically you, did anybody hurt your feelings this season?
No. I don't think my feelings were really hurt until I was getting beat down.
At the reunion?
Yes, until I was being attacked. When you got several people coming at you, people have to still understand this is reality TV, yes, and we live our lives for the 45 minutes to an hour that you see our lives. People on the outside can think what they want to think. People on the other end can think what they want to think. But when you got your cast members on there, and really, to be honest with you, like I said, I can only apologize to Trey. I'm not understanding where the rest of the conflict came in at with the rest of the cast
With
members.
Mark and everyone else.
You know, Mark, we had that situation, you know, where he put his hands on me, but we had just met each other. Let's also touch on that. Me and Mark didn't know each other like that. I'd only met Mark. That was probably the second time I saw Mark on this cast when he actually put his hands on me and pushed me back through that door. And regardless of whether or not you think it's right or wrong, it was wrong. Regardless of what you think I should feel, it's wrong. Nobody should ever put their hands or put themselves in anybody's personal space. And this is me thinking on the level of a 36-year-old.
Okay.
Middle-aged, 36-year-old.
Not middle-aged.
Not being messy because I'm middle-aged. I'm just being truthful and honest that at the end of the day, you put your hands on me and everybody saw it. So what is there to talk about? It's either an apology or it's not. But there's no reason to continue to talk about something that everybody saw on camera and everybody saw in person. Like, we all saw the talk about it. So it's not like it didn't happen. It happened. And you did it. And if I got to own up to mine, why can't everybody else own up to theirs?
Accountability. That's what it is, y'all. So we'll talk a little bit more accountability after this quick break. Y'all take a look at what's coming up on the next episode of the On the Way Up Atlanta Season 2 reunion.
Next time on the final part of On the Way Up Atlanta Season 2 reunion.
And so we have reached the end of our Season 2 journey, and I want to thank my live viewing audience. Can y'all make some noise one more time?
Like, what you guys saw on the screen is what I have. Like, I don't have any family, not out of state, not in state. My children are the only blood. I come from a line of single children, and my mother and my grandmother passed away 4 years ago. So after them, it was just me.
So I'm literally like, I don't even want to be here. Somebody on the side of the road, literally dead.
With me being the only child, I mean, I have two sisters on my dad's side, but with me being the only child, I feel like it's just me against the world.
Just Mayday said that was a timeline between 5 days. It doesn't matter what the timeline was. It still was said after the fact that y'all was at the park.
But the fact of the matter that you felt that way is the reason why I'm not gonna come back next season.
But if I say I own up to everything I've said thus far on this show, everything that y'all talking about, y'all gotta take that as I owned it.
But why do we have to own up to that when
You either gonna take the apology or you not gonna
But
take
see,
it.
that's the thing, Phil.
But this is, it's like, I don't do this. And I can't, I can't perform. I can't. I would never be able to get through a performance like this.
So we left off talking about accountability, and speaking of that word, there was a lot of instances of people trying to put your feet to the fire during this reunion for things that were some confirmed, some alleged. And I want to ask you about one specifically. Why do people think that you stole your it's the comment section for me? Why do they think you stole that?
That slogan was never around until I made it on this show. I made the shirt. I came up with the name. I came up with the whole idea of it's the comment section for me. That slogan had never, now the for me part, of course, that was a song for me. I put it's the comment section because it is. I mean, you look in the comments and everybody's like talking about you. I looked in the comments here and there, and every other comment is Phil's name. So whether or not you're talking about me, whether you're talking about me on a good note or a bad note, you're still talking about me. So what they don't understand, the people out there, the fans who don't really like me or the fans who do like me, what you don't understand is you're still putting my name out there as a brand in which I'm still building.
They are.
So regardless, I don't take it in any kind of bad feeling or bad stride. You still are in the comment section talking amongst each other about me.
About Phil. Do you feel misunderstood by the fans?
I do.
And does that bother you in a way? I mean, I know you already said it doesn't hurt your feelings with certain things with cast members, but from the viewing public, does that bother you in any way that they don't truly get who you are?
No, because I don't. At the end of the day, I don't have to go to bed with any of them.
Okay.
Some of them I would probably never see. Some of them I'll probably see on the street and probably wouldn't even know who they were. Some of them probably have already walked up to me like I've been walked up to several times in clubs and different places because I'm everywhere.
You lying. What have they said to you?
There are
What's the
people-
worst thing you've heard in person?
Nobody's ever said anything bad about me.
So it's good stuff in person.
It's
Okay,
always
I
a
like
good thing in
that.
person when people are approaching me. A lot of people, for example, I was out and about somewhere and I was approached by a female and a male, and the person said that they watched all the way from Kentucky. And they were like, "Oh my God, it's Phil the Prince. I can't believe it's you."
Dope.
And then we started having a conversation. So I don't know if those people are people that are talking about me in the comments badly or whatever, but people change their whole demeanor when they meet you in person.
They do.
So you
Yeah.
can talk behind a keyboard and type all you want, tap, 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 tap. All you want behind a keyboard, that's a keyboard. It's social media. I have social media pages. People are going to talk crap about you regardless. It doesn't matter. But you still have to keep moving on. They don't stop my bag. So you can talk about me
Ever.
bad. You can talk about me good. I still roll over and sleep just well at night.
Okay, and I want to talk about that bag a little bit more because we touched on it. But, there were a lot of, even as we sit here now, I can think about how many questions came in about people saying, well, what does Phil actually do? Why don't we ever see him working? And you just said, people ain't going to stop your bag. You kept money coming in and opportunities kept coming. So what would you say to people that question that, again, because I feel like we just keep getting it?
Channel my resume. I put it out there on Facebook already. Like I said, I've been on 2 radio stations already. I have a show called CommentSection.tv. I have a black-owned clothing brand that I am.
Black-owned?
Black-owned clothing brand, which people out there who are talking mad trash about me, since y'all want to do the Black Lives Matter and everything is Black Lives Matter and black people should be together and blah, blah, blah. Since we're doing that, you need to go support the website, www.bontedesigns.com. And if you go to that website, you will see the face of that black-owned clothing brand, which is Phil the Prince. I'm the face model and brand ambassador of that, and I make royalties and monetaries from that as well. I do fashion style. I do get flued out. However, let it be known, last year was the pandemic. But last year, I made more than some of y'all could have made in probably 2 years.
Oh, it's definitely gonna be the comment section for me this episode.
I'm just
saying stuff like that.
I
it's the
filed
comment
my
section for
taxes,
me.
I did my write-offs, and I guarantee you, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I had to redo it because I had to ask myself, how in the world in a pandemic did I still make that much money?
Because you're good at what you do.
And I didn't steal, I didn't kill, I didn't go out there and break in nobody's house for anything. Everything that I own, everything that I have is mine. It's in my name. It's my blood, sweat, and tears in it. So the fact that people want to demean and tear me down is fine. Because at the end of the day, karma comes back.
Yeah.
So remember that. Remember karma comes back. So when you're talking about me in the comment section and what you think I don't have or what you think I have, just remember that karma always comes back.
Well, karma may come back very quickly in the form of this game that we're about to play.
Uh-oh.
All right, Phil. So I'm going to give you a few of your cast members. And being that you are so well ingratiated into the fashion life, right? And fashion is your lane. I want you to give every cast member that I provide to you, I want you to give them a fashion house or give them a house name, if you will, okay?
Okay.
So I want you to think about everything that goes into their persona, their aesthetic, because that's big. Their look is everything, right? Their whole vibe. And I want you to tell me what best suits them in terms of a house name. First up, I want to give you Easy.
That's House of Smooth right there.
The House of Smooth. Okay, why?
Easy, I fell in love with Easy from day one. Easy never changed up on me. Easy has always been the same person the entire season with me. She's always reached out to me, and she's just very smooth on what she does. I mean, you can't deny it. You can't deny who she is. She's just very, very smooth. She got this like real smooth but edgy, you know, feel to her. It's like a vibe. So
She does give off a
yeah,
vibe.
she gives like
I
a
felt
vibe,
it.
and
Yeah.
I like the vibe that she gives off, and she don't take no BS from nobody.
I like it. What about Averin? The House of...
House of Disco.
Not disco. Why disco? Nah.
The reunion is very flashy.
It was a look. And was.
It was a look. He was flashy. You know, that was the first time I've ever actually seen Averin flashy. Because Averin is a real estate agent. So
Do you feel like he did that to kind of show people that he could?
I don't know who he's proving it to,
Ooh.
or who he was trying to prove himself to if he did do it for that reason. Because if you don't have anything to prove because you are who you say you are, then you shouldn't have to prove anything to anybody.
Okay,
You
disco.
should always be yourself. I wasn't expecting it. That was very unexpected. So, you know, to say the least, that he was very shiny during the reunion. I give him the House of Disco.
Okay, disco ball.
Maybe he likes disco. I don't know.
Maybe.
He could.
What was Trey's house be?
Trey's house, I'm going to give Trey the House of Bally's.
Explanation.
Bally's is a hidden treasure. It's like you see the Gucci, you see the Chanel, you see the Balenciagas, you see the Louis Vuittons, you see all of that out there. But then you see a Bally and it's different. It's a different type of label. It's not a
You
label.
just taught me something about fashion because I thought Bally was short for Balenciaga.
No. Bally's is Bally's.
I don't know fashion.
And a lot of people don't know what Bally's is. They think that the only thing is Gucci, Chanel, Louis Vuitton. But the reason why I say that about Trey with Bally's is you don't see everybody wearing a Bally shoe. Just like Trey, you don't see everybody wearing what Trey wears. He's in his own category. So for Bally's, for me,
Is this love and admiration?
it's honesty.
Okay.
I'm just being honest. Trey, it has an eclectic type of vibe about himself because if you look at it, I mean, and I'm just being genuinely honest. If you look at everybody else and the way that they dress or provide or carry themselves, like me, I'm not flashy, but you know, I like wearing a J, a pair of J's, or that's what I'm gonna go for. Or I may wear every now and then a label here and there, but you're gonna be expecting that from me. But with Trey, you don't know what you're gonna get. You never know what you're gonna get. So when you see a person wearing Bally's, you don't expect somebody to see, to wear some Bally's.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's not a big brand that's out there that's, even though it's a big label, it's not a big brand that everybody wears.
Yeah, I'm not
And
gonna lie.
everybody doesn't wear what Trey wears.
Trey was probably the person I was most excited to see what look they were gonna turn out for the reunion, and he did not disappoint at all. At all. Finally, I want to give you Rachel. What will her house be?
A house of diva.
Okay, I love it.
All the way down. Rachel is a diva. You can't tell her nothing because whatever she stuck to, that's what she stuck on. That's it. You ain't gonna tell her nothing different. If that's what she stuck at, that's where she stuck at. And divas are stuck with their own opinions, and you can't change that about a diva.
You can't change that about a diva, and y'all cannot change your channel, your screen, none of that. I want y'all to stay tuned. We'll be right back with more with Phil. So we're back, and I want to ask you now about what seemed to be an air in the room. And I felt like you were so frustrated during a lot of the reunion because it seems like you didn't really get to be heard. And it seems like you felt like you were ganged up on. So can you talk about those feelings now for us a little bit?
Feel and was is two different things. I was attacked because everybody came there with the mindset. Everybody came there for one person, to attack one person. Everybody came there to attack one person. And of course, that common denominator, of course, was me.
Was you.
However, I don't understand what everybody else's beef with me is. Now, I can understand if Trey had a beef with me. Okay, cool. But I heard in some confessionals, and I'm not going to say any names, but in confessionals, you know, I'm looking at the show the same way everybody else is looking at the show. And what was really funny to me was always in a confessional, we're family. And we fight and we argue, but we always come back and we take up for each other. We love each other. So are you talking about the cast as a whole when you say that? Or are you just picking and choosing who you feel like is family? That's number one. Number two, if you got something to say to somebody, you need to personally reach out to them, in which I did. I personally reached out to Trey. I did. I personally reached out to Trey. I have receipts in my phone. I personally reached out to Rachel when her grandmother passed away, because I know how that feels. My grandmother passed away in 2004. I almost didn't finish college because of that. And it really hurt me for a long time. For a long time, you couldn't even say my grandmother's name around me, and I was hurt. So I understood. So I reached out to her because I understood the hurt, the pain. And I really genuinely wanted to reach out to her. For me, when you want to claim yourself as family or reach out personally, you put all that other stuff aside when it comes down to stuff like that. And I feel like we were adults enough to do that, but that didn't happen that way. So you wait to the reunion. When I'm reaching out personally to these people, they're telling me, well, keep that same energy and wait to the reunion. Why do we have to wait to the reunion to talk about it? I'm on the phone with you now. And there's several cast members, several of them who I reached out to personally who said that. Wait to the reunion. Keep the same energy. Keep that same vibe. We're going to talk about it at the reunion. Well, why do we have to talk about it at the reunion if I'm talking to you about it now?
Yeah.
So you need some audience, you need some camera time, you need some light time, because I didn't need camera time to reach out to you personally. I didn't need lights and camera action to, talk to you on your personal cell phone. I didn't need that. I genuinely was reaching out, but I guess I wasn't part of the family. I guess that part of the confessional wasn't about me.
Do you feel like that could change, and do you feel like there's potential for growth with your relationship with any of the cast members?
To be honest with you, if they don't want to grow with me and they don't want to have anything to do with me, and I don't say it, I'm not saying it out of disrespect, but to hell with it.
Has anyone reached out to you?
Nope. I have not heard from not one cast member since the reunion. I really hadn't heard from. I heard from Easy, me and Blue and Paige, love Paige. I've reached out to her, and she's reached out to me on, we talk on Instagram and stuff like that. We don't call each other, but we do talk through Instagram and stuff like that. So I do talk to a few of them through Instagram. I may kiki or laugh or maybe put a heart on something, and they may do the same thing, or they may like a couple of my pictures. But most of the cast, no. I even see some cast members out and about. They'll walk right past me like they don't even know me, and that's fine. You don't have to speak to me. I mean, we can live in this world and coexist, and you'll never have to speak to me again. We don't ever have to speak to each other.
How do you feel like that would translate on season 3? Is there a season 3 for you?
So I know nobody has heard me say that I'm coming back or not, and I'm gonna leave it at a wild card. I'm not gonna let people know what I'm gonna do or I'm not gonna let my right hand know what my left hand is doing, and vice versa. Because that's just going to give fuel for the fire for these fans to be like, and here you go talking again. So you'll just have to see if I'm back on season 3. And when you do see me on season 3, if I come back on season 3, you'll see different diversity of Field of Prince.
What are some things you want to show people that you feel like they didn't really necessarily get a chance to see?
I'm an Aquarius, so I'm very creative, idealistic. I have, since this show has aired, and I appreciate Devontae so much for putting me on here because it's taught me so much. See, I took the show in a different direction. I didn't take it because I wanted to get some fame and stuff like that, and I think that's where people misconceived me. I actually took this show to new heights and new levels, to the point where, yeah, people know me out there, but I've built different things. Like, I have different ideas now. I don't want to just do fashion styling. Even though I still do it, I don't want to just do that. I want to expand my horizon. I want to get into TV series.
You better use the platform.
I want to, there's some things that are up my sleeve right now that are really dope that nobody, and I research this kind of stuff. This is stuff I look at. Nobody has come up with yet. And so if I can showcase my talent and show people that I'm more than what you believe on that 45 minutes of what you see of me, then season 3 is the right place for me. And it's not just because I want to be on TV or I want to be on season 3. Season 3 will be able to show people that I'm more than what you think that you saw about me on season 2. Yeah, I had some hiccups and some slip-ups on season 2. I had to learn some lessons, but who doesn't in life? And when you're on reality TV, if you haven't learned anything, then you really didn't get on reality TV for the right reasons.
What is the most valuable lesson you learned from being on season 2?
Shut my mouth and mind my business.
And how often do you feel like you're gonna apply that going forward? Because it's hard. You can know something and learn it and still not apply it.
I am who I am.
So not 100% of the time.
I'm not gonna say that, because you don't change overnight. So I'm not gonna say that 100%. I come back to season 3, 100%. I won't say anything about or being blunt. Now, what I will not do is I will not come on there telling lies and talking lies about people. What I will do is I will still be the blunt person I am, but maybe I can tone it down a little bit. Maybe I don't always have to respond to every response.
Okay, I can see that. I want to ask you about a specific response from the reunion, and that would be, there was an interaction between you and Devontae, and this has kind of been something that's been brewing, where there were conversations that were held about you making comments about production that may have been misconstrued. Would you care to clarify right now?
Yeah, sure. So people saw episodes, like I said, you only see what the camera shows you for that 45 minutes to an hour. You can only break it down so far. But what they don't understand is that we're filming. I mean, sometimes we could be filming for hours and stuff could be transpiring.
Everything doesn't make it.
And everything doesn't make it. So a lot of cast members went to Devontae and wanted to do the tattletale thing, like, oh my God, let me tell you what Phil did. And I think it was because they wanted to, because they turned on me, they wanted the producer to turn on me too. So if everybody's turned against Phil, he's in the corner, backed in the corner by himself. Now if we got the producer turned against him, because now he's talking about his production, then he's really turned into a corner by himself. And it didn't work. It didn't work the way that they thought it was going to work, I think. And for me, I didn't talk about production. What I did say was basically that there were things that were said, maybe caught on camera, maybe not caught on camera. I don't know. I don't know what the camera's catching. However, whatever was edited. And that was it. So if there was a conversation that was had beforehand and then what was edited, you see me saying something, think about this. And if you are a grown person and if you're a smart person, think about this.
Okay, so if you childish and dumb, cover your ears.
I can't respond to something that there is no response to. I can't just talk to myself. I can't just blurt out stuff, right? I can't just blurt something out and just, because I'm not crazy. So obviously if I'm saying it, something was said before that for me to have to say it. And somebody was involved in that conversation before I had that same conversation on camera. So I like how people always say you want to throw the rock and hide your hand, but how many people on this cast was throwing rocks and hiding their hands? People that live in glass houses.
How many? Tell me.
People
I'm just playing.
All I can say is people that live in glass houses, baby.
Do not throw stones if you live in a glass house. That's it. That's it. Well, Phil, last question for you, because we don't know where time will take us. I want to ask you about, in terms of goals, social media, reality TV, all of the things that you have going on, where do you see yourself in a year?
Not working anymore. And this is a short-term goal. I see myself really elevating in the entertainment industry. I have been doing this for a long time, for a while. Like I said, this is not my first rodeo. You really want to see my resume? I put it all out there on Facebook. Feel the Prince is also my name on Facebook, so you can go right on there. If you feel like scrolling through, or if you just feel like clicking on my page, I put my whole resume on there. So it's quite a bit that I've already done, and it's quite a bit that I still have to do. Me being middle-aged, where I am, I don't want to die too soon being middle-aged and messy. So I'm gonna have to go ahead. And,
How do you feel about that middle-aged label? Honestly,
I think that the demeanor was changed when that was said, because I did read the comment that said, "Oh, so now we middle-aged shaming." There are a lot of people who actually approached me who actually were pissed off and upset about that comment, regardless of whether it was taken back or not. They were very pissed off about it, and regardless of how you said it, a lot of people out here in this community, and I'm gonna say it like this: in this community, in our community, in the community that we're in, you better be lucky if you make it to 30.
yeah.
I'm 36 years old, and I look dang good for.
You can say damn good.
I look damn good for my age, okay? And there's a lot of people who don't even believe I'm 36. So messy, drama or not, I'm still out here doing me, and I'm not really worried about anybody. That's why I don't look like what I'm going through. And everybody goes through something. So the middle age thing really ruffled a lot of feathers. Didn't ruffle my feathers, because at the end of the day, I'm 36. I can't change that. So if you want to call me middle age or whatever, you better hope that you make it to 36 too. Because the day and age that we're in right now, the times that we're in,
It's not guaranteed.
with all the stuff that's going on, it's definitely not guaranteed to you. So that middle age comment was very, to me, demeaning to people who were middle aged. Regardless of whether you were trying to throw it at me and call me messy, a messy middle age, whatever, it doesn't matter. Messy or not, you said middle aged.
And you're close in age to other cast members too. So I mean,
There's one cast member who's even older than me. So what? I mean,
Yeah.
are you also considering them in the middle age thing? And they weren't just completely angels. So I mean, so what do you really mean when you say middle age like that?
questions with Cortez, Mac, and Phil. So Phil, I want to ask you before we get out of here, if people want to support you and want to go into all that it is that you do, I know you told them Facebook, but where else can they go besides Facebook?
I am on Twitter. I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. It's popping, by the way. Since the show and since my brand ambassadorship, and even, with all the stuff I've been doing, I've gained already 4,000 followers.
Yes.
So, and it's still climbing.
Yeah, I love it.
So, people,
You go, boy.
y'all can talk about me, but people are checking for me. Okay? So, there's no cloud I need to chase because I have my own. There's no, I don't need to go and find a different avenue. Feel the Prince is going to be Feel the Prince. On every avenue, you can catch me on Facebook, which I have 3 pages, and I also have a fan page, and I also have a page that is dedicated to just basically people that are overloaded that can't get on the Feel the Prince page because I'm booked and busy. So Facebook, Feel the Prince. Instagram, Feel the Prince. Instagram is where you'll catch me all the time.
And tell them about Comment Section TV.
CommentSection.tv, let me tell you something. That is blowing up. People are loving it. I just got a good compliment the other day. There was a guy who says that he can't wait to get home from work after a stressful day and come home and see our smiling faces and see what we're talking about.
It's dope.
That's the reason why I created the show. I am the executive producer of that show, and it's going to get even bigger. Oh, it's going to get bigger. I speak everything to existence and I claim it and receive it. So whatever people do to try to tear me down, it is what it is. That show is still going to manifest and it's still going to grow. Just the other day, matter of fact, I don't want to throw our name drop out there, but out of the blue, Patrick Ian Pope just hit me up on Instagram. So while everybody's talking, I'm just saying, Feel the Prince is getting known out here in the streets.
You better get known to get that name out there.
Well, maybe I can get on P Valley. Season 2.
Let's go, Uncle Cliff. Come on, I can see you next to Mercedes.
Maybe it's next
In autumn. Well, y'all, that is my time with Phil the Prince. I want to thank y'all for tuning in tonight. We got one more episode of the reunion coming your way, and there's another sneak peek coming right after this. Y'all be sure to subscribe to the On the Way Up Entertainment YouTube page to get all of your needs for Phil, as well as I need y'all to go follow me on Instagram at Cortez Mac TV and subscribe to my official YouTube channel right now. And I'll see you right back here next week with another exclusive interview. Let's go.